Okay, Jeremy, how should we manage our emotions when we're in conflict?
Oh, good question. So this is emotional self-management or emotional self-regulation. A super important topic in conflict, especially in escalated situations. Maybe there's a momentary conflict, a momentary escalation, or it could be an ongoing long-term conflict where you kind of consistently be emotionally triggered by some person or some event or something like that. So number one, I think it's important to recognize your triggers. If you can do a little homework on yourself and kind of ask yourself, what kinds of situations or what kinds of words that people use or things that people say or that this one person says tend to trigger me. And you can do a little analysis, like why does that trigger you? In other words, what is the perception of threat or impediment that it's creating? What needs or goals or values does it feel like it's threatening in me? And when I analyze that and I get to know what those are, maybe I can do a little cognitive reframing. Okay, so what's the truth here? Am I really in threat? Are they really trying to impede me? Even if they are doing something that seems like they're trying, is it true? Is it that they can impede or threaten my needs or goals or something like that? And if not, maybe I can tell myself a different story. I can reframe it. I'm safe. No, I do have control. No one's taking my power away. I'm in power. Like just thinking, what is the truth actually? Even though it feels this way or you're perceiving a threat, what is the truth? So doing some analysis is really important, I think, in terms of regulating your emotional state ahead of time. So you kind of know going into what your triggers are. If you find yourself triggered in a situation, I would say that there's a few different things that I tend to practice and that I also teach people. Number one is really simple, universal practice. People do it in meditation all over the world, focusing on your breath. Most people teach this when they're talking about emotional self-regulation. This is a form of mindfulness training, which means essentially that you are becoming aware of what is in this moment, and with specific focus on the breath, we're becoming aware of the breath without judgment, or without sort of forcing anything. We're just noticing what our breath feels like. And you might want to count 3 up, 3 down, 3, 1, 2, 3 up, 3, 2, 1 down, or something like that. So you can just kind of do a little breath focus work. That's really important. And that tends to slow down the mind. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system so that the body feels like it's okay to relax a little bit. We don't have to hyperventilate and prepare for fight or flight or something like that. So breathing is really important, mindfulness breath. Another one would be mindful speech. So slowing down your speech. So when you're talking, instead of talking real fast, or maybe you're stuttering or flustered or something, you can't get the words, can you just slow down your speech enough so that you can actually enunciate your words? You can hear yourself talking. And this also is a practice of mindfulness with a focus on your speech, so that when you're talking, you feel like you can articulate slowly, you're enunciating, you're very mindful of what you're saying. And again, this can activate the parasympathetic nervous system to regulate the body, to tell your body it's okay, we can slow down, we don't need to be in fight or flight. So that's an important one. I also talk about reframing, cognitive reframing. I touched on this a second ago, and I also sometimes I call this soothing, so that if you know that, I'm feeling threatened right now in some way, or I'm feeling unsafe, I'm feeling out of control or something like that, I can just kind of cognitively, no, it's okay, I'm okay, everything's gonna be okay, I'll be okay, I'm safe, I trust me, I'm in control, no one's taking my power, everything's okay, I'm safe. Like whatever you need to hear for yourself, you can start telling yourself that inside your head. So some cognitive reframing or soothing techniques. And then another one is starting to practice what it feels like to not resist feeling, but to actually allow yourself to feel. Give yourself space to just feel what you feel. So if I'm feeling angry in this moment, I'm feeling afraid in this moment, I'm feeling really sad or something, or can I just allow myself space to feel that? It's okay to be angry right now. It's okay to be afraid right now. The resistance to those things create a lot of conflict internally and then externally. But if I just allow myself to feel whatever it is without judgment and give space for that feeling, then it allows me to be at a sort of calmer, more peaceful state with my feeling. So I can be at peace in a state of fear if I allow the fear to be there. It doesn't mean that I need to run or fight or something like that. It just means that I can be afraid and I can have this conversation. I can be angry and I can have an effective, calm, rational conversation. If I'm not allowing myself to be angry though, then the anger is going to blow up in a different way. It's going to manifest in a different way. So giving yourself space to feel. So those 4 things are really important. I think cognitive reframing, which is soothing, allowing yourself space to feel, mindful speech, really slowing down your speech and being mindful about what you're saying and how you're enunciating and articulating very slowly, and then mindful breathing, so focusing on your breath. Those 4 things are, I think, important practices for emotional self-regulation, what I call emotional triage.